In this video, I'm showing you 10 of the most terrifying analog horror entities in order, so stick around because at the end of the video, the most terrifying entity will be revealed. Also, this is not a power scaling video, so I'm not ranking these based off of the most powerful, just by terrifying factor. Number 10. We're starting off this list with an entity that is like a lab experiment gone wrong. A demented dog-like figure that was unleashed onto the world through a portal in a lab. In this series, Dexter emphasizes how it is hungry, then breaches containment and wreaks havoc on all of the employees. The uncanny figure with its elongated limbs and constant stained appendages make for a terrifying creature. Dexter progressively grows more disturbing as these episodes go on, as do his actions. The series ends on a horrific scene where Dexter has made his way outside the lab and into the open world, truly a scary entity by its uncanny looks alone. That's why it's in the top 10 on this list. Number 9. Urban Spook has been involved in quite a bit of controversy over the last year or so, with a lot of hate directed towards his analog horror series. However, this basic slideshow-esque series has seen improvement because of the last episode in the series released, titled Hell. It actually gives us a visual of the antagonists, the painters. After all these episodes that only tell us about what the painter does to his victims, and the resolution of this final episode, it almost feels rewarding.
Raise your hands right now! Do not move! Do not move! Stop! Let me see your hands right now! Let me see your hands! Do not move! You understand?
Number 8. If you're a fan of Sonic, you probably already know about the analog horror based on Shin Sonic. In this series, as it progresses, we see Sonic go through evolutionary changes where he grows as much as he consumes. You take the fact that he is dangerous because of his speed, and the fact that he's still just as fast no matter how big he gets, and that makes for a horrific entity. Plus, this rendition of Sonic just absolutely gives me nightmares. The creepy smile and malformed body really tie it all together. Number 7. Vita Carnis is one of the most popular analog horrors, and with it they've developed some really cool entities, in this case, the Mimics. This is another case of an entity that feeds on humans. However, I believe these guys to be more terrifying due to the fact that they will stalk their prey using various methods of mimicking their victims' appearance as opposed to just straight up destruction and violence, which is incredibly unsettling to me. Also due to how they look, and because we get real life footage in the 4th video. Number 6. Everyone that is into this type of horror should be familiar with the Walton Files. The animatronic mascot horror FNAF style that's been popular in recent years has leaked into analog horror, making this my favorite series to date. But the entity I'm choosing from this series isn't even from the main timeline. It's from the spin-off alternate timeline that follows the Pumpkin Rabbit. Included in The Mysterious House and The Return of the Pumpkin Rabbit, this horrible entity preys on all who walk into this house. He's a very slow burn / creep type of character who is memorable and makes my skin crawl whenever I hear his voice. This was the first analog horror I've ever watched, and still to this day, it never fails to freak me out.
I will have to punish you for being such a misbehaved little bunny. Don't worry, you won't feel a thing, and you'll get to be with us. Wouldn't you like that, little girl?
Get away from me!
Number 5. This newer series that's been popping up recently, known mainly as The Boiled One, has gotten a lot of traction, and while the main entity from this series is very popular, let's give our boy Toe some credit here. I first saw this clip of this guy while I was scrolling Instagram and was immediately disturbed, and then was immediately not disturbed as I opened the comments. But the disfigured face along with the breaking of the screen kind of puts the viewer in the way of this entity, almost as if it's breaking the fourth wall.
What do you want? What do you want? Please go away. Please go away.
Number 4. We're taking another visit to the famous animatronic horror. My fear of this entity probably derives from being scarred from the movie Child's Play when I was young, so maybe I developed an irrational fear of weird looking toys like Furbies. I don't know if it's just me, but having something that's supposed to bring you joy as a child but is actually not that is just unsettling. Especially when in some of these episodes he appears as a large FNAF style animatronic as well as the atrocities he has committed, like unaliving a baby in the series. Battington is a great animator, and the design of this beast is why it's ranked number 4 on this list.
Why so sad? Why so sad? Why so sad?
Number 3. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do I have another entity similar to the mimics from Vita Carnis on the list? That's because there are different types of these guys, all capable of terrifying traits, but specifically the Doppelganger, as these entities will disguise themselves so well to fit into their prey's life that you won't even notice when they are there. Their ability to recreate someone's physical appearance and personality is actually perfect. The extent these things go through to stalk their prey is actually insane, and I respect the grind.
Let me in, Mark. I have a gift for you. I have a present. I have a surprise. I will not hurt you.
Number 2. This entity comes from one of the classic analog horror series that is widely regarded as one of the best analog horror series to this day, Gemini Home Entertainment. Specifically the roots that infect humans taking possession of them. The whole process of infection is kind of like Alien, where it finds a host to plant its eggs, then creates something even more terrifying out of its prey. This is demonstrated in the Home Invasion Help video, where it's teaching these entities how to break into someone's house as opposed to the other way around. And the most horrific entity in analog horror would be the Boiled One, aka Fen 288. This monstrosity is a red-faced entity that preys on its victims with actual psychological torture. If you're unlucky enough to experience one of the hijacked broadcasts that this creature causes, you'll experience being put into a coma, only able to move your eyes. Nothing else for as long as you live, while having visions of this thing. So like never-ending sleep paralysis with the Hat Man. There's no easy escape from this guy. It is the definition of uncanny, and has only a couple human-like appendages. Although it may not be human, it speaks reversed with a deep voice about the end times. The scare factor with this thing is off the charts. But eerily enough, not much is known about the origins or purpose of this entity, only that it feeds off of torturing its victims. So that's my top 10 analog horror entities list. If you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go support the original creators to these awesome videos.